Well, I suppose for me, I always felt a calling to religious life, and very strongly in high school, and I wasn't sure where. I felt attracted to Mother Teresa and giving my life in service to the poor, but I wasn't sure what would happen or anything. So I finished high school, and I still wasn't sure where my direction was going. I still felt called to religious life, but I didn't know where. And so I did my training and became a preschool teacher. And I was still looking, and on and off I'd talked to different religious orders, but nothing seemed to resonate. I was still finding something that would enkindle my heart. And then the relics of Saint Therese of Lisieux came to Australia, and she was my confirmation saint. I didn't know a lot about her. So when her relics came, I went to pray at her relics, and I had a very profound feeling of God being present with me in prayer, and of finding out more about Saint Therese herself. And so I found out she was a Carmelite, not that I knew what that was, and I contacted the Carmelite sisters and went and stayed a few days, joining in with their prayer and meeting the community. I thought they were wonderful women given to God, but I didn't at that stage feel attracted to the Carmelite order. But there was still something about it. So I started attending retreats given by the Carmelite friars, the priests, and slowly but surely I was being drawn into this spirituality that emphasised a deep relationship with God. Up till then, I always thought of God being up there looking down on us. But the Carmelites really emphasised the gospel truth of God within and that intimate relationship with God. And I remember going to these retreats, and you'd see the Carmelite priests sitting there for an hour of prayer, and there was a real presence in the chapel. And I used to think, what are they doing? I kind of didn't know how they could sit there for an hour, but I felt attracted, and I felt I want that kind of relationship with God. And so slowly it grew on me, and as I learnt more about the Carmelite saints and about their total love of God, their total gift of God in their lives, and the awareness of the presence of God in their lives, I was really attracted to that. And then I had a profound experience one time at Mass with the Carmelite friars of God calling me to Carmel. And I wasn't even thinking of Carmel at the time, but it was a deep experience, and I knew it was God calling me, and I was so full of joy and a sense that this was God's will. And so it sort of started from there, and I contacted the sisters up here in Brisbane. I come from Sydney. And when I first met them, what really struck me was they were a group of 20 women, and they all had very different personalities, but there was a real feeling of community among them, a real feeling of a joy in their life and a love of God, and that really attracted me. It felt like, yes, this is right, this feels right. It wasn't always easy. When I came in, I think now it was quite a culture shock for me, and there was a lot I had to adjust to and get used to, and a lot of aspects of myself that I hadn't realised before or hadn't admitted to myself before, that I had to learn with the grace of God how to accept them, bring them before God, and ask for God's healing and His grace, enable to realise what a sinner I really am, but in that Jesus came for sinners, and that Jesus is the strength and source of my love.